SF Live special coverage of the Mines and Money Conference is brought to you by Baselode Energy. Welcome, SF Live special coverage of the Mines and Money Conference. My name is Kai Hoffmann. I'm the JR Mining guy on Twitter, or the CEO of the Soar Financial Group. Thank you so much for joining us for this special interview. And I'm joined by James Sykes. He's CEO of Baselode Energy. And James, good to see you in person.
Likewise. No, it's finally nice to meet.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen each other at PDAC, maybe in passing, but we haven't had a sit down.
No, we haven't. No.
So we've chatted before, like online, virtually. We had a bunch of calls, and you've been on SF Live before as well. It's great to see you.
Yeah, likewise. No, it's always nice to put a face to a name.
Absolutely. It makes the conversation better, too. I have to admit, I love the in-person interviews. So much better.
Yeah. We can't edit this. This is live.
No, I wish it was live. But I'm not going to edit. So, James, 2022, interesting year. You guys have been really, really busy. Why don't you start us off with a quick overview of the year and what you guys have been up to?
We completed 22,000 meters of diamond drilling and 80 drill holes on our Accio discovery that we made last year. So we really ramped it up and we took a shotgun approach to diamond drilling. We expanded a large footprint of uranium mineralization. And some of the highlights are just that it's so shallow, it's within 25 meters of surface, and we're seeing a lot of high-grade intervals. So next year, we're looking to ramp it all up.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's like 22,000 meters uranium in the Athabasca Basin. Maybe we should mention that as well, just so people can put you on a map, right? Whereabouts in the Athabasca are you?
We are on the eastern edge of the Athabasca. We're actually outside of the basin itself. Okay. We're looking at near-surface basement, not basin, but basement-hosted mineralization, because we see that as being a more lucrative and easier opportunity to bring a discovery into production. As soon as you add sandstone on top of everything, it creates a problematic scenario.
Interesting, yeah. But what was the goal of the drill program? 22,000 meters is quite sizable. First resource, what's the status there?
We're still off from a resource. So as I mentioned, we took a shotgun approach to drilling. When we made the discovery, we had 4 drill holes. 3 of those drill holes hit, but they were all in a fence, so we didn't know much beyond that. So we wanted to really just push the envelope and see how much mineralization we could find in a broad sense. And we wanted to find as much high grade as possible because our discovery hole had over 1% U3O8 in some of the samples. So we knew the high grade was there, and it was just a matter of where are we going to find more. Now that we've seen spots of them, we will go back and just start defining those, because high grade is tonnage. It's going to build up a resource very quickly. And some of our best drill holes we're hitting high grade uranium between 25 meters and 75 meters from surface. So that is a very shallow potential resource.
High grade is an interesting term. Like in uranium, it's like, I'm not too familiar with it. Can you educate us a little bit? Yeah. What is high grade uranium? 1% sounds great, but I've seen other companies with 25%.
Yes.
So put that in a bit of context for me.
Yeah, high grade is one of those things that it's kind of a term that a lot of people do subscribe to the Athabasca as 1%. If you have a Cigar Lake or McArthur River, high grade there is 20%, which is orders of magnitude. It's the richest ore in the world. But we consider high grade to be 0.5%, simply because the global average grade for uranium is 0.1%. So if you're 5 times the global average grade, that's a considerable amount or concentration of the element that you're looking for. So that's just something that we...
And since you brought up Cigar Lake and McArthur River, those mineralizations are much, much deeper as well. Yes. So economics come into play as well. And you mentioned that your target is between 25 and 75 meters. Yep. So you can, like the Nevada of gold mining as well, right? So
I hope so.
No, fantastic. RC drilling works for uranium, or is it all diamond?
We do all diamond core drilling. Okay. Yes, just because we like to get the information. Yeah. So we like to map out the geology, and we can't really do that as well with RC drilling.
Yeah. What's the budget sort of for a 22,000 meter program this year? How much did you spend per meter? I'm curious.
We're about 10 million spent this year on diamond drilling. So we had about 450 to 500 bucks a meter all in cost, which was with a helicopter. We were very impressed with that. A lot of the initial costs came from also building the camp, which we did in January. If you've ever worked in the Canadian winter, it's not a good time to build a camp in the winter.
I can imagine. I don't want to do it.
No, I wouldn't want to do it either, and especially when it's all helicopter supported, it's not as easy as most camps. But we got it all done. So we've got a lot of heavy lifting done, and now it's just a simple matter of readjusting and now hitting things much harder.
So with the camp in place, are you going to be drilling year-round now?
Not entirely, no. We still... So what we're going to do, because we're still helicopter supported, we don't want to explore Accio in the wintertime, is we lose the daylight hours.
Okay.
And when it's winter, it's cold out, so that means you have to warm up your drills, you have to warm up your camp, and that requires more fuel. That means the helicopter would be slinging in more fuel, and it takes away from his time. And when he's got limited daylight hours, there's not much they can do. So we leave that to the summertime. We leave it to the spring and summertime, and that will carry us forward. We still have 8 months of the year that we can do some very beneficial work.
Using the downtime now, how are you using the downtime? I'm assuming some of the results have yet to be reported and released?
We've issued all of our assay results, all of the uranium assay results, so every drill hole's out there. We're taking all that information, we're compiling it right now. We're looking at just doing some internal studies, but really trying to map out the geology, and again, mapping out where we're going to find the bigger zones of mineralization, where we're going to build up the tonnage that we already see. And we're also looking at, we're investigating the geophysics that we flew over the projects as well. We're reinterpreting some of those results based on what we've seen so far, and just a lot of technical work on the down end. That's the technical side, and still pitching the story, still trying to get attention out there. We've got one drill hole that's still remaining. That was our exploration drill hole, the last one we did last season, where we targeted a VTEM conductor, and with the thoughts that it was going to be a sulfide target, and we hit sulfides. So we've got those results that we still have to come out, and hopefully they will be out within the next couple of weeks.
For uranium resource drilling, like what's the spacing you think you'll need, and like how much more drilling will you have to do to get to a resource stage?
It's variable. It's all deposit dependent, and it depends on the structural complexity and how easy it is to link up a lot of mineralization. At the stage that we're at, we have subcontracted out a resource geologist who has helped us build an initial model. But the reason for that was not to define how many pounds were there, it was to help us define our drill targets moving forward. So again, answering that exact question, how tight do we have to have our spacing? So what we've seen so far is that 25 meters would suffice if we want to get, and that should be for an inferred resource. If we want to get a little bit more detailed, then we'll go down to 12 and a half. But that won't be answered till maybe halfway around next year. But we are working, we're hopefully going to be hitting a NI 43-101 resource, or initiating an NI 43-101 resource estimate by the end of next year.
Yeah. Okay. November 30th we're recording this, so it's pretty much the end of the year. Like, I don't want to call it a wrap-up interview because it's not December yet, right? Cash position at the end of the year, like, and let's talk about budgets moving forward as well. What are the plans for 2023?
Okay. Cash at the end of the year. So we've just launched, or we just announced our quarterly. We've got $6.5 million in the bank. That's all hard dollars, so we've got no flow-through commitment, so nothing has to go into the ground. That's obviously the dollars we want to maintain. We also just announced yesterday, that we did a $3 million bought deal placement, charity flow-through. That gets us going for next year on our Catharsis project. So we're well funded for the remainder of the year for this 1 month that we have, and then moving into 2023.
London's expensive, I'll tell you that.
Oh, it is. Jeez, I see the prices around everywhere, and it's like the same prices back home. But then I have to realize, no, it's double.
Yeah, exactly.
But so getting into 2023, we've got a huge drill program. We're looking at about 2,500 meters on Catharsis. So as I explained about Accio being insufficient or logistically costly to explore in the wintertime, we're going to explore our Catharsis project in the wintertime between January and March. It's all road accessible. All our camp will be right off the road. Our targets will be right off the road. So it's much easier to operate. 2,500 meters there. We're looking at some targets that, what I have seen, one of them just reminds me of Arrow. What we targeted to discover NextGen's Arrow deposit, one of those targets looks exactly like that, and it blows me away, and I'm giddy. Like I'm shivering right now. I just want to see it drilled. But as that program runs down, then we'll segue into Accio. We'll have 2 drills out there. We're going to get track drills this time to lessen the amount of helicopter time. So trying to bring our exploration dollars down. 20,000 meters planned for Accio alone. That should bring us to that resource stage. That's what we've kind of figured. And then we've got another 10,000 meters divided into 2 5,000 meter programs, both exploration on hook. Okay. One will be looking at a kilometer radius around Accio itself, The other 5,000 meters will be dedicated to exploration targets on the Hook project. 2 of those targets are along the Accio trend. So we think that whole structural trend bears fruits.
Fantastic. Yeah, lots going on. You were keeping busy, that's for sure.
Yes.
And fantastic. Awesome, James. Like, exciting year ahead, obviously. Oh, one last question. It escaped me for a second. Charity flow-through. I'm always curious. What's the premium for charity flow-through in Saskatchewan these days?
It's about 150%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, we 150%? Yeah, it's 150%. I think I'm saying that right.
Well, it's 50% probably. It's 100.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay, what's the share price?
The share price is 50. We raised at 80.
80. Okay.
80.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that's 60%.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, no, that's a good premium. Quebec, I think, is 80, but they also have like mineral MTCC credits.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting what it stands for.
Yeah. Mineral tax carbon credit or something, or
yeah, something. I don't know. Credit card charges or something. I don't know.
Saskatchewan's got the second highest charity premiums, I do believe, in the country.
Yeah. No, that's
we
fantastic.
took advantage of it. It was a great deal. It allowed us to raise funds in a less dilutive position, especially considering the global market, and our share price has been crashing pretty hard. No. But we got the raise done. We have money in the bank to start Catharsis. We avoided a lot of dilution. Very happy with that. The intention is to try and maintain our dilutive situation below 100 million or below 150 million shares, as we think we can really get the whole Baselode project and story just moving rapidly.
Fantastic. James, thank you so much for joining us here at Mines and Money. I hope you have a great conference, and we'll catch up very, very soon.
Thank you very much, Kai.
Fantastic.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. SF Live special coverage from the Mines and Money conference here in London. Thank you so much for joining us. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with lots more.